I'm going to be running in a couple of seconds. This is like being in a herd of buffalo. You have to look all around you and make sure you know where the water's coming from. Because in here it can come from, it can come in way on the right and then sweep around and nail you. I think we have a big critter here. Yeah, big crab. Don't know if I can help him to survive or not. There, we got him over on his front. Whether he'll figure out how to get out of here in time is a very good question. You can see him breathing through his mouth. I mean, it makes sense, but he just may be an old one who's going to die. He's just too weak to do anything. He's breathing pretty hard. You see those little feelers in the front, almost look like little hands or something. I wonder what those are for. Probably to sense the food or something. Hope he can survive, but he may be too weak to survive. I'll just stand here for a while. That'll keep the seagulls away, but he may not be able to survive. I wonder if the irony of this crab's plight is that whereas humans get caught in the surf and pulled out to sea, if he or it gets too detached from a certain depth, then the wave has the power to overcome him and push him into shore, carry him into shore and beach him. And then the interesting question is there any way that he can get back out? My intuition is that all living things have brain of some sort, at least an animal of this complexity. How much they can perceive their plight, I don't know. It may just be sitting here in absolute bewilderment, having no idea what has happened or even how it happened, and absolutely no clue as to how to resolve it, of course. If that crab could think, it would know that it's in an alien world. The shore has to be alien compared to where its life has been. In the not too distant future, it may meet an alien creature, a seagull, which will be its worst nightmare. This may well be the analog of man landing on planets elsewhere in the future, or moons like Titan. Speaking of the alien creature, the colors that you see in here, the rainbow of colors, reds, purples, greens, may be answering the question that this foam is composed of oil residues. Just a guess. Could be natural, I suppose. Interesting how these little hummocks of sand at an overlook north of Brookings, and I wanted to walk down to get a view. Now the fog's kind of lifting a bit, but I just had to stop and video this scene. It looks like the trees from Lord of the Rings.
See that that rock in the foreground doesn't get whacked too much because of the big rock off to its left. Kind of breaks the flow of the waves.
Very pristine little toadstool. This plaque memorializes Samuel Boardman, who was a superintendent of Oregon State Parks back before 1953 and was responsible for setting aside most of the scenic areas and turnouts and so forth of Oregon's coast, here, at least in this area. And it's pretty clear to see from everywhere else in the world that had he not done it, everything, including the spot we're standing on, would have been an expensive home site or two. And it's down in that area that I was parked until the fog lifted. Dull gray color reminds me more of the Atlantic Ocean, or at least what I perceive the Atlantic Ocean to look like, but I don't really know what it looks like. This is Smith Canyon on Route 199. A rugged and beautiful canyon with a bunch of fish jumping down in there if you're a fisherman. I'm looking for a spot that I can pull over and camp, and I do it right here, except that the van's tipping the wrong way, so wouldn't be able to sleep correctly.